Welcome back to another episode of Rooted and Rising. In part one of our conversation with Avneet from the Brahma Kumaris organization, we talked about the deeper meaning of soul and spiritual connection. In the second part, we'll continue our conversation around the real life questions: how to deal with hurtful people, the difference between love and attachment, relationships and energy, and about something that everyone deals at some point in their life: loss and saying goodbye. Let's continue this meaningful conversation. Avneet, welcome again.
Thank you.
How
Thank you
are
very
you
much.
feeling?
I'm feeling great today. Thank you.
I
I'm
am
honored to be here again.
I'm so glad to have you here.
Same here.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Avneet, so today's conversation is a bit different. So we are actually talking about the real life questions.
Yeah.
You know, there is one struggle that most of the people share, and it's not about situations, it's about people.
Yeah. True.
How should or how can we deal with people who hurt us, dislike us, and actually lead to emotional imbalance in us?
Yeah, your question there itself says the answer.
Mm-hmm.
You know, how do we deal with people who hurt us, who dislike us? You know, people have their own opinions, have their own choices, have their own personalities. And they form that personality because they've been through something.
Correct.
Their own experience, their own conditioning, their own childhood. And in many times, you know, we have things coming from our past lives, as we talked about last time. So we form our own personality based on our own experiences, and we're all very different. And now, why I would have an opinion on someone would be specific to me, and someone would like me and someone would not like me. So this comes back to the question, who am I? It's not about someone liking me, but it's about who am I, and what do I stand for, and what is my authenticity. So outside world would always have a perception of me, but this is a question about authenticity, actually, about who I am and what do I stand for. And once I'm there, deep into my own into my own body, into my own energy, and we claim back our own authenticity, our own energy with the Raj Yoga meditation, as we discussed, going back into who we are as pure energy. And once I'm there, it wouldn't really matter to me what others think of me, whether they like me, dislike me. Because that happens because I somewhere lack certain self-respect for myself. And when I say self-respect, it's not just respecting, it means liking.
Yeah.
It means a deep liking and a deep love for myself, not just as a soul, but as a personality who I am. Means, can I love myself? Can I love Avneet? Can I love that I am a woman? Can I love that I have a brown skin? Can I love and appreciate that I'm good at this and I'm not good at this? Can I appreciate my weaknesses in myself and recognize them and be very comfortable in them? And once I'm there, then I wouldn't be going outside to seek
Yeah.
anything, to seek an approval, to seek a liking. So it comes back to be myself.
Yeah.
And that's where it all starts and it all ends. Now comes the question, how do I respond if someone is mean to me? If someone is saying things that are mean, that are hurtful? Because one is that I would be hurt because I connected with that energy and I felt I'm that. That's why I'm hurt. I'm lacking something. But in terms of response, many times we ourselves get triggered. You know why?
Yeah.
Because we also carry those weaknesses. And we carry that pain or lack of self-respect in us, and we get triggered. And at times we try to act and react out of that pain. For example, in a certain situation, someone said, you know, you are not very good at doing this.
Yeah.
And, you know, you're not very good at cooking. And you're like, okay, I know I'm not very good at cooking. You know why? I can go back and check in myself. Do I like cooking? Do I want to be a cook? Do I love cooking? Or am I wanting to look like I have to do cooking because I'm a woman?
Mm-hmm.
And it could be for a man as well to do something. I'm just giving an example.
Yeah.
So that's where I have to check,
Hmm.
where do I stand for that? And then that's where I have to respond back. So if I'm not affected by that, then I would be staying in my own love in front of that person. I wouldn't be reacting at all. But if I get angry and I react back from that place of anger, that's when I build more entanglement.
Yeah.
And in spiritual terms, we call it karma.
Hmm.
Reacting from my place of hurt and anger just creates more entanglement in karma, and it just complicates the situation
Yeah.
with that person for me.
Hmm.
So in terms of the accurate response, one is for me to check where I'm at in my authenticity. If I have to take some feedback from there, improve, that's for me. But in terms of reacting or responding back to that person, I have to bring myself back in my unconditional love that we were just talking off camera.
Yeah.
Unconditional love where it doesn't affect me at all based on what you said. And I respect your opinion, but that's it. Has no effect on me,
I love it.
you know?
Mm-hmm.
And that's it. But at the same time, this is such a broad and wide topic.
Yeah.
At times we have to take some action in the physical reality with respect to that person. For example, if there's a coworker and he says something that's mean, but I need to work with that person and I can't get along working with that person. So in that moment, I wouldn't say, hey, I have unconditional love for you, so I'm going to keep you on my team, right?
No.
It's not practical. It means that I have to either get him out of my team or I have to take an action. So what I need to do, I need to do.
Yeah.
But it doesn't have to affect my love and my state of mind. So that's the response.
Yeah.
A state of mind. But that comes with practice, that I don't get disturbed inside of me.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, Pneet, this is one of the questions I got on my social media a few days ago, and this is so relevant here, how you explained it. So a lady asked me a question under one of my posts, and she say, if I'm happy, some people dislike me and some people continue to disrespect me, but I cannot ignore them. It might be a relationship close to her, and it is impacting her emotional well-being a lot. And she goes, how do I come out of that trap? And is it wise to say that some people, they confuse forgiveness with tolerating bad behavior?
Yeah.
How do you explain that?
In psychology terms, we call forgiveness many times. We say that we are going to forgive someone who did something bad to us. So it's about forgiving them. But on a very deeper level, and that's what I experienced in spirituality, and then I realized that in psychology they also refer to this, we have to forgive ourselves. You know why? Because when we attract a situation in our lives, or someone does something that wasn't pleasant, we feel we have to forgive them.
Yeah.
But once we really go through the hurt that we had, that we've accumulated because of that experience, and I sit with that pain, sit with that sadness or anger, whatever I felt. And as I will sit and, transform that anger, that means that I'm neutralizing that emotion, then I will come at a state where I'm forgiving that person. But after that, the story doesn't end there. You will see if you're really accurately, because you asked true forgiveness, that's why I'm talking about true forgiveness, not just forgiving that person. So true forgiveness would come when I forgive myself, my younger self, my older version, which in the first place attracted that situation.
Yeah.
Because nothing at a spiritual level is happening that's unfair.
Correct.
Right? It may seem very brutal and hard, but nothing's happening that's unfair. So I have to forgive myself. And that's where true forgiveness comes in. And then I'm just neutral about the situation. So that's true forgiveness on its own. And now we're saying tolerating harmful behavior, right? In Brahma Kumaris, we talk about 8 powers. And one of the powers, 8 spiritual powers that a soul has, and we use them in our day-to-day life. And one of the power is called power of tolerance. And there are pictures for each powers. And the power of tolerance picture goes in a way where a little boy throws a stone on a tree. And the tree gives back, you know what? Mangoes.
Oh,
Ripe mangoes. And what are ripe mangoes? Sweet, right?
yeah.
So that's what this show, we're trying to depict what, tolerating harmful or tolerating bad behavior means. Means that I'm sweet inside of me as we're talking. That's my state of mind. And no one has a right to change or affect my state of mind. But that does not mean that I would allow others to walk over me. You know? It doesn't mean that I have to be disadvantaged because of something, or I have to suffer, not suffer in a painful way, but I have to, at times we have to make decisions to either limit our interaction with that person or get them out of our lives because we don't want to interact anymore. Not because we are getting hurt, but we just don't need them.
Correct.
Right? So whatever action we need to take, we have to take. But it does not mean, and that's tolerating harmful behavior. We are tolerating with a state of mind, which is sweetness and love. But at the same time, and when I say what action we have to take, actually it's another power. We call it power to discern, power to decide, and power to face. And when I go into my real self, my energy, pure energy, because that's when I'm able to take pure, neutral, and a clean decision, free of any influence. Because otherwise, our minds have lots of beliefs and lots of patterns. Our subconscious mind has lots of patterns.
Yeah.
And we may not even know what pattern is working. For example, on a very subtle level, we behave in certain situations to be a good person, to be a good wife, to be a good husband, to be a good parent.
Yeah.
And that drives our behaviors. Right? And we get into people pleasing without realizing that.
Yeah.
And when we go into our own essence and connect with the higher consciousness, what we just did before as well, then there is no influence. And then we will take the accurate action that's needed in that situation. And then we're tolerating and we are taking the right action that we need to. So no one is walking over us.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
This brings me to my next question. From a spiritual perspective, I want to understand, is it okay to have emotional and energetic boundaries, even if we do not wish any harm to the other person, but just have our boundaries with them?
You know, I love the questions and the discussions when we use the word boundaries. Because when we are connected to ourselves, that means, we are connected to our soul, spiritual level, but we say that we are connected to ourselves and we're aligned.
Yeah.
Then we don't talk about boundaries because they naturally flow. What comes from within goes outside. We reflect it on outside world, and outside world reflects it back on us in that way. For example, if I'm disconnected from myself, that means I'm in conflict with myself. I don't like myself. I have a dislike for how I look, or I'm not confident about myself. Then I'm in a conflict within, and what's going to happen is there will be conflict outside in my relationships, right? And when I've crossed this boundary of not liking myself, then other people cross my boundaries because I cross my boundary myself.
Yeah.
And then they cross it, and I feel like I have to go out and fix that boundary because I have to save myself.
Yeah.
It's because I did it to myself, and now it's just a reflection of what the world is bringing to me.
Yeah.
But if we have arrived in that place where we have gone far away from ourselves, then we have to protect ourselves from our analytical mind, from our left brain, taking actions. And, and that takes a lot of energy. And before I became spiritual, I was very left brain myself. So I had to really figure things out. I have to protect myself. I have to, this is my time and this is how I should be doing. but all the boundaries just go away if you go back to yourself.
Yeah.
And at times when you can't do that naturally, then you do have to bring in rules. You have to bring in the boundaries.
Yeah.
That this is my emotional, and I'm not going to interact with you at this level because it affects me, because not to protect myself, because it's affecting me.
Yeah.
And that's when I go out and say no.
Wow.
But sometimes, that no could be full of guilty also.
Yes.
Because I feel a bit of resistance inside. I feel bad to say no. And I have conflict inside of me. And all this is a lot of entanglement, one over the other.
Yeah.
It's mind-boggling
It is.
how complicated it can become.
Yeah. So I think, first of all, instead of taking care of your outside world, you should take care of yourself.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
And once you're yourself at peace with yourself, and then, you can play all the other roles beautifully.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because then you're playing those roles from the core of who you are, from your heart.
Yeah.
And you're not doing those things to please others. But because you are in your heart, in your light, in your own energy, and when you do that, then others will be pleased. That's the outcome.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. And that doesn't take any energy.
Yeah.
It just flows naturally.
Yeah.
It doesn't take thinking also then.
That's so true.
And that's alignment.
Avneet, I've read this line. It's from your organization where it says कि अगर उनका behavior उनका संस्कार है और हमारा peace हमारी responsibility है. And it totally aligns with what you just described.
Yeah. Exactly. Because उसी point पे boundary आ जाती है. Because then I'm in my energy. And then, because I feel that sometimes, I'm in my energy and that's their energy and I'm not taking anything from that. And it's like, it's not a protection, but I'm just in my own.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's what it is.
Now, we just talked about energy, how we have our own energy, right? I want to continue this conversation further with respect to the relationships in and around us today. Let's talk about casual relationships. We are living in an age where people are entangled in those. They are short-term relationships, or there are physical relationships that people make with multiple people. I want to understand, how does that affect our energy?
Yeah. When we are in short-term relationships and they lack deep love, deep respect for that person, and we are, as you said, physical relationships, short-term, those relationships take the maximum energy out of us.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the first one, which has a potential to really suck out the spiritual energy.
Wow.
It's because they're generally based on need. They're generally based on a lack inside, where I want to be seen, to be approved, to be recognized by someone, to be loved by someone, to be appreciated by someone. Because I don't like myself as much, I go out and find someone who likes me.
Yeah.
And it's easy for others to like me for a shorter period of time.
Yeah.
Because when we are in the beginning of a relationship, we generally like the other person if we have started a relationship.
Yeah.
And it takes a bit of time for us to really, as humans, for us to really be ourselves and, for both of us, both the people in the partnership, to really know each other on a deeper level.
Yeah.
And that's when the true love gets tested, most of the times. Yes, sometimes there are people who fall in love at first sight, and that's a different case.
Yeah.
But here we are talking about, short term, and most of the times they're driven by a need, a lack. And when I go out to fulfill that need from someone else, they will fulfill it for a while. But, in today's world, unfortunately, most of us want to be loved more than we can love the other.
Yes. Yeah.
Right? And when there are two people, both are wanting to be loved, for how long is that going to happen that one would be able to give the other and the other also wants the same? It has to collapse at some point.
Yeah.
And when it collapses and there's emotional entanglement, because now we're emotionally involved, and that was not pure love. In spiritual terms, it was attachment, and attachment takes a lot of energy, a lot of spiritual energy,
Yeah.
and it just entangles the brain, the mind. Now we are stuck in those emotions of missing that person or wanting to be more with that person, and it doesn't just play out practically. And then it breaks us apart very quickly. You know, it breaks us apart much quicker than a longer term relationship could when we go into short term, because
Yeah.
it's like you can imagine a glass and then you're just filling things up again and again, and it's just getting all mixed up, and you have no time to process and clean it up.
Correct.
If you're not taking time to do that, then you are on a road to disaster, emotional disaster. And not just emotional, but mental as well, cognitive as well.
That's so true.
Yeah.
That's so true.
Intelligence as well.
Yeah. And Avneet, this actually brings the attention to, again, being so rooted in yourself that you don't seek validation from anyone outside you.
Yeah.
Right? And I think that is why what I see around is that people are hopping from one relationship to another because it's easy to have the physical relationship, and then when it comes to that emotional intimacy, people get scared or they get bored, or maybe they're not even at that level, and then it's easy to hop onto another relationship and start over, and then break up, hop onto the third one, do the same thing over and over and over. But it does lead to a lot of dissatisfaction in yourself, and it kind of makes you feel that, am I not worthy enough?
Yeah. Yeah, that's what the accumulation of being rejected when you move from one to another, feeling of being rejected or not good enough, it just increases. It just decreases, actually, increases a lack of self respect.
Yeah.
And it just exponentially affects your self respect and your own worthiness.
Yeah.
Because in the first place, you went out to look for it. And many times we do it unconsciously. We're not conscious we're doing that.
Yeah.
But when we go out seeking that, that's when we just exponentially decrease our self-respect, our worthiness, our liking for ourselves. And the best relationships, you know, I could say unconditional love, or I could say people, when we are full in ourselves, when we feel very confident, when we feel that we are complete, and then we are in a relationship from that perspective to enjoy another relationship.
Yeah.
That's when it's a very powerful partnership. That's when it's raising your self-respect and it's helping you grow.
Yeah.
You know, relationships in which you feel that you're growing and you are feeling more yourself.
Yeah.
Because you're not coming from a place of need, but you're coming up from a place of loving the other
Yeah.
the way they are.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
Talking about love and attachment, let's take our attention a little bit to this area. You know, they say attachment is more, right?
Yeah.
So they say if you're not attached, you don't love the other person. That's the definition. If you're not clingy, if you're not like, oh, you're only mine, people think that's the only definition of love. How would you explain that? What is the difference between attachment and the actual love?
Let's experience for a moment actual love.
Okay.
Let's go back to our essence. Let's take a moment of feeling who we are, the energy, the soul, the living energy, the light, and bring up the love inside of us. And when I'm there, what do I feel? I feel love, love for the self, love for everything around me. And in this feeling of love, I cannot unlove anything.
Yeah.
You know? There's nothing I can. It's like the sun that's radiating all the time. The sun cannot say, you're a robber, you're a bad person. I cannot radiate my love. I cannot radiate light to you. In the same way, that's unconditional love. And the moment I come on and say, hey, you know, you're bad, so I can't love you. Or you don't love me, or you don't fulfill that for me, so I can't love you. Who am I kidding with that?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And the moment I do that, that's attachment. And in spiritual terms, the Brahma Kumaris, we also call it body conscious love, which changes based on what the other does.
Yeah.
So that's the difference. Unconditional love, we call pure, pristine love. And versus the love that we talk in today's world, which is almost like attachment.
Yeah.
But I know there are people who know this love and they're in relationships with that completeness, both the people.
Yeah.
And they're enjoying the relationship.
Yeah.
And that's also possible in today's world. And I know people who do that, who come from that place too. Couples who do that. And yeah, so attachment is painful. Attachment is neediness. It hurts.
Yeah.
Love doesn't hurt.
Love doesn't hurt.
Yeah.
That's so true.
And heals and grows.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
How today's mentality is, oh, I love you only if you do this. I love you only if you live how I want you to. How is that even love?
Yeah. Yeah, that's unfortunate, but that's where we are at times. Yeah. We confuse love with that. But love is much more powerful than what we think it is. And it took me a lot of effort to really arrive into my unconditional love. And once I started to experience that and that state of mind, it was just liberating.
Yeah.
It was just freeing.
Yeah.
And it's like, you do whatever. I cannot stop having that love for you because I'm entitled to have that love. You know? What I have to do is different.
Yeah.
What I feel is different. That's my right.
That's, wow.
That's my right, what I feel.
Yeah. Yeah. That is surreal. I love it. Moving on, Avneet, let's talk about another part of life which everyone experiences, but people avoid talking about it. And that is loss. I want to understand from the Brahma Kumaris' perspective, how do they see death?
Yeah, for Brahma Kumaris, as our first and basic lesson is about our identity, who we are. We are a soul, we are living light, living energy. From that perspective, we never die. And the death is only a physical manifestation of the body. It's the body which has to go through the cycle of life and death. And the soul lives on because soul is eternal. Having said that, yes, it's painful to experience death and loss of a loved one, but there is some comfort in the fact that they are living on, they're eternal. You know?
Yeah. So, Avneet, if I have to understand, how can we actually bid farewell to our loved ones with peace, dignity, and love instead of just coming from a place of pain?
Yeah. Pain is there. Knowing that we are energy and we are on our journey and our loved ones have left and they are still living, not in the same way that we were used to them. So there's pain.
Yeah.
We can't see them and we can't visit them. But how do I really deal with that? There are two aspects of this. One is that I really need to be very honest about the pain I carry about it, about them, about the loss. And I really need to allow that pain to come up for me to really heal. Because when I heal, I will heal a part of them as well. Because if I carry that pain, remembering them in their form that they're not anymore in, then at a very subtle and a spiritual level, I send this pain, I'm radiating this pain out to them. So healing myself from that pain is part of letting them go.
Yeah.
With love and dignity. And the method to do that is to come back to my original identity. And why I come back to my original identity again and again is because that's where all the truth lies. It's like, being in who you are. And most of the time we are walking around and doing things in the identity of Avneet, and that's not my real identity. And that's where I can't have the right answers all the time. Yes, sometimes I can have, many times, but that's why I step back into my own true identity. I see myself as light, and I bring them up as light, as energy. I see myself here, and you can visualize with me, and I see them here as well. And now I could bring up the highest consciousness, the divine light. And just while I do this practice in my mind quietly, and no one has to know, I don't even have to say, but just being in the light and the energy, I am at some level, not just at the mental level, but at a deeper somatic, body, emotional level, I'm letting them go with dignity, and I'm healing myself. That's the method. So
Wow.
it's freeing us of emotions, and I've done that many times on myself, for my loved ones. It just takes away all that I could be caring for them that wasn't serving me, that wasn't pure and pristine in its existence.
Yeah.
That's a practice, and we could do it towards the end.
Yeah. Wow. Avneet, there are many, many people who live with the guilt and pain of unfinished conversations with the deceased ones. Sometimes our life is busy and we think, oh, we'll call them, or we have some kind of stuck karma with them. Maybe if we have to apologize them for something, right? And suddenly we hear the news they passed away. So you live with that guilt that why didn't I talk when I had that time?
Yeah.
How to let go of that guilt?
Yeah, it's interesting you asked me that question, because I had the same feeling for one of my cousins who left when I was in college. And I felt like I didn't spend enough time with him when he was there. I could have spent more time, and that was regret when I heard he had left. And what I could do with that is that, very honestly, I had to allow myself to see that. That's the feeling I have. Yes, there's grief, there's pain, and there's a feeling of missing. It's very important for us to be really honest to ourselves about how we feel.
Yeah.
How we feel, how we think, how we not just feel, and the emotions we have as well, because feelings and emotions can be different. So we have to allow it to come without judging it, without feeling bad that I have it, without rejecting it. And then sitting in that emotion or that thought, like for me in this example, was that I wish I had spent more time with him. I wish, until regret.
Yeah.
The emotion is regret. And I sat in that regret in the presence of the divine light, higher consciousness. Because the higher consciousness is the only pure, the purest form of light, divine, that has the potential to deeply and utterly heal me to the core. And then I wouldn't be fooling myself thinking that I don't have it anymore, but it's still in there.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be suppressing it if I allow it to come up. And just sitting with that. And whenever I thought of him, I sat with all the pain I had, all the feelings. And gradually, the pain left.
Yeah.
But it's a gradual process. And we have to be with it.
Yeah.
We have to be in it.
So the first step is acceptance.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we cannot keep on ignoring that and kind of nudging that. You have to accept, sit with it, and then deal with the process.
Yeah. Because I've heard people saying, like, sometimes people would feel, you know what, they left 10 years ago, but I've not been able to let them go. And one, they still have those feelings of grief. And second, they have created another feeling in their mind of guilty, that I have had this feeling for 10 years and I couldn't let it go. You know how we add up our own cup?
Yeah.
So don't be guilty about how you feel. You feel. Be honest and confident about it. That's how I feel.
Yeah.
And as you said, and we were talking about this a few questions back, I think you mentioned that we don't talk about this a lot. And that's another thing in our society. We don't talk about emotions.
No.
We don't talk about feelings.
Yeah.
Because we see them as a sign of weakness. We want to talk about happiness, joy, love. We don't want to talk about pain, you know?
Yeah.
But it's high time we identify that, because it's the pain that's the doorway
Yeah.
to joy, embracing the pain.
That's so right. That's so right. Yeah. Avneet, do you think prayers and vibrations, they play a very important role when someone is leaving their body?
Yeah, absolutely. Prayers, vibrations, and where energetically I can support people to leave their body.
Okay.
There are people, I know, sometimes people are not able to leave the body because they're very sick. The body is too sick. It doesn't have the powers to support the soul anymore. So we know that they are about to go, but they are there and they're not able to go.
Yeah.
And all their stats in the hospital would show up that they're about to leave anytime, but they're still there.
Yeah.
But they are in pain, and they might not be able to talk, to speak, to see you. But at a deeper level, energetically, you could feel the soul is in a lot of pain and
Yeah.
soul has difficulty leaving. That's because that person may have accumulated a lot of fear in the lifetime, or may have a lot of fear of leaving, of death, or attachment to the loved ones around them, to their children. And they feel, if I leave, what will happen to them? What will happen to my money? There could be lots of things that would come up in the mind at that time. Because we accumulate these things as we live, but once we know that we are about to leave,
Yeah.
all our fears come to the surface. Because then we know this is it. Reality comes up. And these things, these fears, don't let us go. And now someone else could come up with a very pure intention and support the soul energetically.
Yeah.
And help them go. Or help them feel better.
Yeah.
But at Brahma Kumaris, we don't generally sit with an intention that I want to do this. We only share the pure love energetically with that person. We send them good wishes at a soul level, and we let the best happen for them.
Yeah.
We don't come in the way of nature or their own, of what their journey is going to be and how it's going to be. We only send good wishes.
Yeah.
And good wishes, as we did that practice, that's again the same method, to send good wishes to that person in their purest sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Avneet, whenever there is a loss, sometimes our families, they want us to actually come out of the grief very soon, right? They don't mean harm, but that's their way. So they think that, okay, whatever has happened, but like, don't grieve, don't cry, just come out of it, be strong, you can handle that, and all those emotions which are more empowering. But it is very important to sit with your grief too, so that you actually come out of it, not just on a superficial level, but at a deeper level. I want to understand from your perspective and from your organization's perspective, How should the families support each other during the time of a loss?
Yeah, it's a beautiful question because there are many ways we can support each other. One is energetically in a subtle way without having to speak, sending good wishes and vibrations to all the people in the family. And we could do this practice as well. And the other way is in a physical way when we are together and we are grieving, to bring out your pure love, the love that you have inside. If you can bring that love in that moment, if you're able to, and it's okay. And as we said, we have to accept the grief and be in it as well.
Yeah.
That's very important to let it come out with tears and in a physical way. And for some, like I remember my parents had an accident last year and I couldn't go for a reason. And I was going through a lot of turmoil in my own mind at that time. And I came to the Brahma Kumaris Center, and there was a sister who she knew. And she just gave me a very nice hug from the heart. And she has a lot of love in her. And that hug for a few minutes, and I wasn't resisting it, I wasn't rejecting it, I was open to receive, and I was there emotionally, and she was there emotionally with love. And I was in pain, and that loveful hug healed me. In a few minutes, I felt I shifted because she had that love that she hugged me with, and that's a kind of love we can bring in our physical setting. When we are talking, grieving with each other, some can bring love, and some will be grieving depending on how affected we are. That's what we can do on the physical level.
Yeah, it's so true. It is so true. I mean, even when you give the example of hugging, that energy is tremendous.
Yeah.
You can actually heal through, or, let that moment go or with ease if you have that energy from someone.
Yes, yes.
I do believe in that.
Yeah, you have to be careful at times. It's not always
the positive.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, but you have to go with, if you are someone who can really feel it energetically, then that's how you need to see how it has to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. That was very beautiful and insightful, Avneet. We did this little guided meditation last time, and I loved it. And I
I'm
hope my
glad.
audience loved it too. Can I please invite you to guide us again for a guided meditation?
Yes.
And just support our inner growth.
Absolutely. Om Shanti. You can take a moment to settle down, taking 3 deep breaths from the nose and exhaling through the mouth, slow and deep. Now see yourself as light. Visualize as I take you along. Allow everything else to move away in this moment from the mind. We can come back to it later. The thoughts can slow down. And stabilize yourself. Allow yourself to feel and be the truth that you are. You are living energy. Go deeper into this energy with nothing else around. Pure and positive. Right in front of you. See the brightest, the purest, supreme, the highest form of consciousness. divine light surrounding you, protecting you, keeping you safe. Now emerge and invoke your pure love, unconditional love inside of you that we all have. Bring up all the love that you can feel. It's not for anyone, for anything in particular. It's just love. And you're radiating this love. To yourself, around you. Now you can emerge a loved one who's gone, and you can bring up their energy, their true form, the soul that they are, now in another form. Bring them up as light around you, and radiate your love towards them in the presence of the divine. There's nothing else, just you, the light, them, the light, and the divine light. Sending your love, your gratitude to them. And now you can bring all the souls of your family, of your friends whom you want to support. And you can see sparkling lights, all of us together, separate from each other though, in the presence of the divine, sharing this pure love and light. This love heals myself and heals them, each of them. This light liberates all of us from what we may be carrying for each other, which doesn't serve us. You can just continue to do that, or you can bring this scene up of all the sparkling lights in front of the divine whenever you want, whenever you remember your loved ones. You can send them good wishes like this. Om Shanti. Thank you.
Avneet, thank you so much for sharing your calm, compassionate insights with us today. I am delighted to have you here again.
Thank you. Thank you for having Brahma Kumaris. Thank you.
And Avneet, the whole conversation, it reminds us that being spiritual, you don't have to do anything extra. It's not separate from your everyday life. It is a part of your life.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you so much again for coming here.
Thank you.
And to my lovely audience, maybe the real spiritual journey isn't about changing the world around you. It is about protecting your own peace. People will always behave according to their own sanskars, but your peace, energy, and your response is your responsibility. If this episode resonated with you, sit with it and do not rush to go back into the noise. This is Rooted and Rising, where we grow together. I'll see you all in the next episode. Until then, please take care of yourself.